What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to take your Samsung Fold device and turn it into an Android Auto experience. So this is a follow-up to my routines video that I did earlier. If you guys are not familiar with that, go ahead and check out that video. So we're going to be leveraging the Modes and Routines app for this tutorial that comes with your Samsung device. As I showed in the last video, you can see a full tutorial guide on how to use this app. And this is for people that do not have access to CarPlay in their car. So for example, my car is an older vehicle. It's a 2015 Toyota 4Runner, and it does not have any kind of CarPlay, doesn't have Apple CarPlay, doesn't have Android CarPlay, doesn't have any of that stuff. So this is a way that we can get a similar mode using the Routines app with a car mount and our foldable device. So in the last video, I said I wouldn't cover these until a later video. These are the 3 routines that we're going to be going through that are going to achieve this functionality. So first one here, we have connected to 4Runner and brightness. So what this one does is if my device is connected to Bluetooth to my Toyota 4Runner between this time period, sunrise and sunset, and the folding status is open, I wanted it to wait 4 seconds and then turn on adaptive brightness and then also turn the brightness up to 100%. So what this is going to do is going to turn the brightness essentially up to 100% when the sun is up. Then when the sun goes back down, it's actually going to put it back to its normal state, so that we can see it when we're driving, especially when it's bright outside. The next one here is our Android Auto routine. So this is very similar. If device connected to Toyota 4Runner is also completely open, so when the device is connected and then once I open the phone, I want it to wait 2 seconds and then run a quick command. So what this does, this is actually a Bixby command. And we can go into our quick commands here and we can set a bunch of them. I only have this one set up for right now, but essentially instead of telling it exactly what you want it to do, you can set it so it'll run this in the background without you even telling it. And then what it does, it opens YouTube Music on the left and then Maps on the right. And you can specify this by saying open YouTube Music and Maps. So it's going to know that you want one on the left and one on the right. So you could flip these if you wanted your maps on the left or your music on the right or vice versa. And then we want to also have run quickly on. So it's going to run it immediately. And we can test out our command once we have it set. So you can hit the run button and it just sent that command to the Bixby. And see, there you go. It opens up both the music on the left and then maps on the right. Back in our routines, we can set this, so run a quick command. So that's what's going to happen once the phone is mounted and it's connected to our car. And then driving mode. So driving mode for me is a bunch of different settings that I want to turn off while I'm driving to make things more convenient for myself. So if connected to my car, then I want it to mute the sound, take the ringtone down to 0%, take notifications down to 0%, and system volume down to 0%. That way I can still see when notifications come through. They'll have a pop down, but it's not going to interrupt my music. And then I also want it to keep my phone unlocked. And then media volume, phone speaker 0, wired headphones, and then Bluetooth up to 100 because that's how I listen to music in my car is through the Bluetooth. And then I want to change the screen orientation to auto rotate. And I also like it to turn off Wi-Fi. So if I'm passing like an Xfinity hotspot, it doesn't try to automatically connect. That way I don't even have to deal with it. And then when the routine ends, it's going to reverse all of these. In the last mode that I have to turn on, I actually have to use Tasker for this, but this is to keep the screen on inevitably while my phone is connected to my car's Bluetooth. And I have to use Tasker because for some reason, if you go in routines and we do screen timeout, the max it's going to let me do is 10 minutes in the routines and modes. So I do have to use Tasker for this. This is a paid app, but it's not too hard to use. Essentially, it's very similar to the routines and modes where you can set profiles and whatnot and have it run in the background. So I have one here. It is connected to Toyota 4Runner. So when you set this up, Tasker is a little trickier. You have to add. So when you hit add, you hit create. And then in this case, I want to do a state and then Bluetooth connected. You can do a search and then you can go ahead and find the name of the vehicle you want. So here's mine right here. And then go back. Now you can set a new task. So it's going to say when you're connected to your car. And then in this case, I'm going to say screen timeout off. I do already have this set up. So it looks like that was I'll do a second one here. And then here you have to add an action. So timeout, display timeout. And then I just have this set to say 23 hours. So now it does this. Now you also want to set an exit task. That's why Tasker is a little trickier to use. So in this case, we want a long press here and then say add an exit task. So I'm just going to do another new task. I'm just resetting this up just to show you guys. Screen timeout 2 minutes, which is what my default is. And then I'm going to go same thing, add an action, timeout, display timeout, and then I'm going to change this to 2 minutes, and that'll set it back to 2 minutes after I'm disconnected from Bluetooth and I'm leaving my car. So that's a way to get around the screen timeout because I don't think anyone's driving for longer than 23 hours. And like I said, Tasker is a paid app. I think it's a couple bucks, but this will at least keep your screen on the whole time while you're driving so it doesn't time out after 10 minutes. All right, so now that we have all this set up, let's go see how it works in the real world. All right, so here we are in my car. So I've got my phone stand here. This is a MagSafe stand. I will link that in the description so you guys can take a look if you'd like to purchase one. And then my case here actually has a MagSafe sticker on it, so I can easily just mount my tablet phone to my car. And my car is an older car. It is 2015, so it doesn't actually have CarPlay, which is why we're doing this. So I've got my phone here, and then when I turn on my car, it's going to go ahead and start up. And then once my phone is connected, so you can see right here, it says it connected to Bluetooth. And if I open the phone, and we're just going to put it on our stand here, you can see already that the command has started. It says open YouTube Music and Maps using that Bixby command that we programmed in earlier. I'm going to turn down the volume here so I don't get a copyright strike. But anyway, as you saw, the command was when connected to Bluetooth and the phone is opened, automatically put maps and music into split screen. And then another thing that I like to do, a couple things actually, is over here I have my Edge panel. So I have a few different routines set up. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. But I have a few different routines set up, or not routines, I have a few different app pairs set up that I can use, that I can go to switch to. So like if you wanted to say to use Spotify and Maps, you could do that as well. I use YouTube Music and Maps, and then this is my podcast app, and then I have my audiobook app, as well as one that has like a try one with Teams in it. And then the last thing that I do, let me zoom back out here just a little bit, is I have my taskbar so I can always see it, so I can easily get to my apps. And what I can do is I can use some of these shortcuts and I can just drag it up into it and pop it up in there. So there's like Reddit, for example. Or this is how you switch between apps. And I showed in an earlier video, you can use GoodLock so that when you're in this icon here, you can go ahead and any of these icons will automatically open into the split screen area that you were touching last. So if I'm like touching this side last and I say, oh, I want a different app, let's just do something random. Do like this 24-hour fitness one. So see, it automatically opens up there. And the same thing will go on this side. So if I'm messing with this app and then I go in here and I say, you know what, I want to bring up my phone, I can bring it up in here real quick. And that's another thing I do too, is I add some folder shortcuts up top so that I can have quick access to my phone as well as like my messages. So see, I can bring up my messages too. And I have that setting set so whenever I click on an app from this icon down here, that it's going to automatically bring up an app in split screen rather than full screen. And then again, let's say I had these apps open already and I want to go back to my default, which was just Maps and then YouTube Music. And you can cater to that setting. You can change it so it's more like, so this is kind of like the CarPlay. And I think a lot of times CarPlay is actually like this, where the map is on the left and the music is on the right. I prefer the music on the left because I'm typically messing with trying to change tracks or whatnot, or going to a different playlist on the left side more than I'm actually using my maps. And another thing here too, I'll show you guys what this looks like if we essentially just go into a navigation mode. So you have your navigation going, and then you've got your music going. And then I like to, like I said, have it like this, which is still good enough for me to see. So anyway, that's how you can turn your Samsung Galaxy Fold device into an Android Auto type experience. So that'll do it for this video. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. I'll see if I can help. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, have a wonderful day.